Join Infosys at 26, rejoin at 62. Life does a full circle. That's what Nandan Nilekani tweeted after he took over the reins of Infosys last week after a gap of 10 years. A lot of good things have happened since he took over. Infosys share prices that had plummeted last week after the departure of Vishal Sikka have come back on track. 30,000 crore rupees of investor wealth that was eroded has been partially restored, with Infosys shares gaining as high as 9,000 crore rupees in today's trade. Well, other good things that have happened is that the board members have clearly stated that they did not want to anguish Narayan Murthy. So this reduces the scope of friction between founders and the board members. Another good thing that has happened is that Nandan Nilekani has publicly stated that he will run investigations into the issues that have been plaguing the company for quite some time now. With so many good things happening, seems like Infosys is on a reboot mode. But the focus at this point in time is on the second tenure of Nandan Nilekani. How successful will he be amid the kind of circumstances that he has inherited? And to answer these questions, we have our senior assistant editor, Aman Malik, with us. So, Infosys outperformed its competitors in the first tenure of Nandan Nilekani as a chairman. Now that he is making a comeback, do you think Infosys will be able to gain its dominance in the market once again?
It is true that between 2002 and 2007, when Nandan Nilekani was effectively at the helm of affairs, the Infosys stock actually outperformed the IT index. While the IT index in that period, we looked at some data, it went up by about 1.87 times or thereabouts. Infosys itself went up by 2.5 times. So that was certainly an outperformance by a mile, if you will. Also, during Nandan's time, at that point, in those 5 years, the revenues of the company went up from $500 million, they quadrupled to about $2 billion. Would he be able to, repeat the same performance again? While we cannot say what will happen in future, it is extremely unlikely that he will get such stupendous results this time around. There are reasons for that. One, he's operating in a very difficult market. It's globally difficult. The US president, the new regime under Donald Trump has essentially sought to clamp down on IT outsourcing. That's point number one. In the last 5 years, Infosys has lagged in its performance when it comes to its nearest competitors, which includes TCS, HCL, Wipro, all the rest of them in the IT pack, the big guys that we are talking about. And one reason why that has happened, and not just the Indian companies, even foreign IT companies operating in India like Cognizant have done way better than Infosys has in terms of growth numbers. And all these companies have one common reason why they've effectively done better, because they've had stable CEOs, they've had stable leadership. Infosys has seen 3 CEOs since Nandan, demitted office in 2007. While other companies have either not seen much of a change or have only seen 1 or 2 CEOs in the same period. So continuity helps in growth, and that's something that Infosys will need to ensure. Finally, Nandan will need to ensure company is hedged from external and internal forces when it comes to how the team actually functions. And so therefore he has his task cut out. Whether he'll be able to match his own growth trajectory of the first 5 years, a lot of it will depend on whether he can actually set these things in order.
Well, now that the outsider CEO Vishal Sikka is gone and a lot of board members have also quit simultaneously, and of course Nandan Nilekani, the original founder of Infosys, is also back at the helm of affairs at the company, do you think it could be the relaunch of Infosys?
It will depend on whether they can stem the churn in their top management. Infosys has had attrition at their top management levels and middle management levels, more so, way more than any other major IT company in India. And this hurts business prospects. When you become shaky as a company, your clients essentially begin having problems with you. As it is, you're operating in an environment where the IT growth, trajectory itself is flattening out in India. You're not seeing the kind of IT growth, the growth in the IT sector that you had seen at the head of the millennium, 2000 onwards till about 2010. So Nandan is coming in at a very, very difficult time. He'll have to stem this churn. It is very, very key, and I keep insisting it is very, very key to what Infosys does from here on. If he can do it, if he can put robust systems in place, which clearly were found wanting during Sikka's tenure, I think Infosys will have a way to go. But he'll have to do more than just putting a few right people in place. He'll actually have to completely overhaul systems. We'll have to see how it goes forward from there.
Of course, there's a jubilation all around and the investor sentiment is on a high. But the man in chat, Nandan Nilekani, knows his task very well. He knows that he has a tough road ahead with the slump in IT sector and the visa issues that are likely to come in the way of Infosys progress in some time. Well, even though the internal problems seem to be sorting out, there's a long way to go before Infosys actually claims to be on a reboot mode. Thanks for being with us and keep watching this space for more updates.